The sun hung high in the sky, casting a golden glow over the endless expanse of sand. The desert stretched out in every direction, a sea of dunes and rocky outcrops that seemed to go on forever. It was a place of mystery and danger, where the wind whispered secrets and the heat shimmered like a mirage. For 16-year-old Samira, the desert had always been a place of fascination. She had grown up on the edge of the Sahara, in a small village where the sand met the sparse greenery of the oasis. Her father, a seasoned explorer, had often told her stories of the desert's hidden treasures. But her father had disappeared 2 years ago on an expedition, leaving behind only a cryptic note: follow the path of the setting sun. The desert holds the key. Since then, Samira had dreamed of uncovering the truth behind his disappearance. And today, she was finally ready to embark on her own adventure. With her backpack filled with supplies, a canteen of water, dried fruit, a compass, and her father's old journal, Samira set out into the desert. Her only companion was a scrappy desert fox named Zari, who had been her loyal friend since she was a child. Zari trotted beside her keen eyes scanning the horizon for danger. The desert was unforgiving. The heat was relentless, and the sand shifted beneath Samira's feet with every step. She checked her compass frequently, following the path her father had described in his journal. According to his notes, there was an ancient well hidden among the dunes, a place where travelers could rest. After hours of walking, Samira's throat was dry and her legs ached. She paused to take a sip of water, sharing a small amount with Zari. The fox lapped it up eagerly, her ears twitching at the sound of the wind. "Not much farther," Samira said, more to herself than to Zari. As they crested a large dune, Samira spotted something in the distance, a cluster of rocks that seemed out of place. Her heart leaped. Could it be the well? She quickened her pace, Zari bounding ahead of her. But as they approached, Samira realized something was wrong. The rocks were arranged in a strange pattern, almost like a warning. And there, etched into the stone, was a symbol her father had drawn in his journal, a spiral with a single dot in the center. "This is it," Samira whispered. But before she could investigate further, the ground beneath her feet began to shift. The sand started to swirl, forming a small vortex. Zari yelped and jumped back as Samira stumbled, trying to keep her balance. "Sandstorm," Samira shouted, though there was no one around to hear her. She pulled her scarf over her face and crouched low, shielding her eyes from the stinging sand. When the storm finally passed, Samira looked up to find that the landscape had changed. The rocks were gone, and in their place was a narrow canyon, its walls towering high above her. Zari nudged her hand, as if to say, "This way." The canyon was cool and dark, a stark contrast to the blazing heat of the desert.